I found out my fiancé cheated on me. This is the worst thing I have ever written. To be completely honest, I don't even know how I feel right now. I'm more numb than anything. I just found out that my fiancé cheated on me. I won't go into too many details about how I found out, it doesn't matter. When I first started dating my fiancé, I told her I only asked one thing of her: if she ever wanted to be with anyone else, she should tell me. It didn't matter when or where she could call me, text me, whatever she wanted. A simple "we're over" would have been enough. I wouldn't ask, I wouldn't push. I just didn't want to be cheated on. My father suffered when my mother cheated on him. And that destroyed him. I didn't want to go through the same. But here we are. I didn't ask a lot. I didn't need a lot. I just needed honesty, and even that I couldn't have. I broke up with her, but she's trying to explain herself. Saying she wants to meet me to talk. I can't. I can't see her right now. It's still too raw. But she keeps pushing. Which is why I'm here. I don't know what to do. Should I give her a chance to explain? It won't change anything. I don't want to be with someone who can't even give me the only thing I asked for. But I still love her. I can't lie and say she doesn't mean anything to me. She means everything. Which makes this all worse. Comment. I went through something very similar with my ex-fiancé coming up on a year in December. I made the choice to hear her out and let her explain her side of things, thinking it would be healthy and help me get some closure. I was vulnerable at the time and she lied, downplayed what happened and manipulated me into giving her another chance over the course of a few months. Not even 2 months after she convinced me into giving her a chance to prove it was a mistake, she cheated on me again with someone new, and it was so much worse the second time. My advice to you is to leave this woman in the rear view and never look back. It's what I wished I had done. She will only justify her actions and lie and manipulate you into taking her back, and will say, do, and promise whatever she thinks you want to hear for that to happen. Once a cheater, always a cheater. The trust is gone and you can't have a relationship without it. There is no explanation or justification for what she did. There is absolutely no reason why you should torture yourself sitting and listening to her BS. Don't give her the opportunity to BS you any longer. The quicker you cut her out, the sooner you start the healing process. Go to therapy and have them help you navigate through this process and pain. Cheating is lethal to a relationship. That's how I think of it. No one died, so you have the option to continue the charade, but you might as well think of it in the same terms that someone died. The person you were together as a couple got shanked in a dark alley and is gone. The ultimate breach of trust, causing your partner that much pain. You can't undo that. Walking away isn't so much a choice where you're giving up something special. The cheater already destroyed that. Walking away is just the only rational choice, and you're forced to do it because of them. I agree to that to an extent. I believe once you've cheated on that particular partner, it's done. But I don't believe that people who have cheated on past partners, or maybe when they were younger, always cheat. I was a drug addict back in my late teens, early 20s, and did some shady shit. I would never in a million years cheat on my husband now. But to what you are saying, I agree that yes, this relationship is done. I agree with this. People grow and change with time. I would say if you cheat on someone, then you'd have to question if the relationship is the right one for you. I cheated on my ex 14 years ago. It was totally out of character for me, and said incident highlighted I was dangerously depressed and in an unhealthy, toxic, and emotionally abusive marriage. I have been together with my current partner for 11 years now, and I barely even realize other men exist. He is everything I want and need, and I would never ever cheat. The thought of it makes me feel nauseous. I agree with you that sometimes we end up cheating as a response to the emotional abuse we are facing in our current circumstance, a right man who treats us right, and we won't need to be looking elsewhere. The saying once a cheater always a cheater is not right. There are reasons why some cheat. For us, we just are not valued in our current relationship. It's a sign to move on. It's 100% not a rule written in stone, no, and people can change as long as they are disgusted by their own behavior and regret their actions, as we can all agree that growth is something that all people are capable of, but I would still tell anyone who was cheated on to break up with the cheater immediately. It's a deal breaker, let them work out their self-control issues with a new partner. Don't risk the emotional trauma when you already know the person may cheat. Story 2. How do I move forward from a disappointing proposal from my fiancé? My fiancé and I have been together for 8 years. As a whole, we have a great stable relationship, but I can't move past my constant disappointment from his proposal. I didn't receive a "this is why I love you" speech or a grand gesture of asking me to marry him. He never even got down on one knee. Not that it's the end of the world, but it's just painting the picture. It was the last day of our camping trip that I really thought he was going to propose during. That evening he only wanted to go fishing, so I sat in my kayak probably 7 feet away and cried to myself for over an hour that it wasn't going to happen, since he didn't propose at any beautiful hiking viewpoints or sunsets through the week and we were leaving in the morning. When we brought the kayaks in after fishing until dark, he went to the truck, came back and handed me a ring box saying, "This should make you happy." That's it, that's all, not even a bottle of wine to celebrate. I booked the same campsite on the same lake on the same day this year and hinted over and over again that he could make it up to me. He did not even acknowledge the anniversary of our engagement. We are to get married in August, but I can't move forward from this. I cry when friends get beautiful engagements, I cry watching rom-coms. I feel nothing but disappointment that I will never experience the gesture of love I dreamed about my whole life. Anytime we have a disagreement or I feel unwanted by him, I am just reminded of the disappointment I feel in regards to the proposal. I don't even enjoy looking at my beautiful ring because it doesn't bring me a happy memory. This feeling is clouding how I feel about him, even though he has never treated me poorly and is my best friend. I don't want to ruin my relationship over this, but I don't know how to move on. He said he can't change how things happened, which is true, but it's been over a year and I can't seem to move past my disappointment. Comment. Hey. When I read your title, I rolled my eyes. But this should make you happy? That is the single most shitty proposal I've ever heard of. It implies that he's doing you a favor. I wouldn't be able to get past that, either. You need to talk to him and get to the bottom of it. Does he not want to marry you? I doubt he had planned to propose like that, thought, right? He must have had some sort of plan other than that if he had the ring with him. I am wondering if possibly he never got to act on his plan before she started to cry and get upset, which made him lose his cool and do what he did. Even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and assume it was the case that he had something planned but got frustrated before he could act on it. If I were in his position and my partner was so upset they were crying, I would be horrified and deeply apologetic for making them feel that way, if I were trying to make it a special and happy memory for them. He had no right to be angry at her. I mostly agree with this, but I also strongly suspect that OP is not a reliable narrator, that their interpretation of events may be deeply colored by their unmet expectations, which may also have been uncommunicated and/or unreasonable. I agree wholeheartedly. This is a crap proposal and was rather heartless. Even if he had planned something better and her crying ruined his surprise, he should have just waited and done it on a different day. But more to the point, he's had an entire year to fix this. He knows she's upset. It happened, I can't change it is bullshit. At any point in the last year he could have made a memorable night, taken her hand, and given her a short speech. I don't even know her and I'm betting I can come up with something in under a minute. Let's try it. Sweetheart, you mean the world to me. I know that I messed up when I gave you a ring, and yet you're wearing it. You love me and forgive me for my mistakes. You accept my failures and have faith that I'll learn to be a better man. You make me want to be a better man. For all these reasons and more, I want to be your husband more than anything else in this world. I know you've already said yes, but I want to ask you again. Will you marry me? I mean, I hate to agree with such bad news to the OP, but this was the exact thought I had. Especially since she mentioned she booked the exact campsite, on the exact day, and hinted over and over again how he could make it up to me. So with this type of obvious tact, I can only imagine how often she hinted at wanting to be proposed to. It had been 10 years. Need the details on why it took him so long to propose. And handing it to her and saying this should make you happy means she probably hinted, nagged him, into a corner, so he may as well have said this will shut you up. EDA, I think at her core OP must know this. If OP was my friend, I'd tell her to sit down and explain her feelings and ask what's up. But I think she knows. Also, this whole hinting for a new proposal to make it up to her is ridiculous and manipulative IMO. Either come right out and say I'm disappointed. I'd like something different, so let's go. Also, he didn't even acknowledge the anniversary of our engagement. Did she? Did she let him know, hey, the anniversary of our engagement is coming up and I'd like to celebrate, what should we do? People have different love languages. If hers is big grand gestures and celebrating the anniversary of our engagement, then lay out the expectations of what you want. Don't hint, wish, and hope your person will figure it out. And when you do lay out your expectations and they still don't follow through, case in point the make it up proposal, then more serious thought needs to be put into it. As in, is that something you can sacrifice for the rest of your life? How important are big grand gestures to you? And why are they not important to my person? Because it's not their thing, or am I not their thing?